thing is they're gonna drop like Korea, and we know that there's gonna be another team up there as well. Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Come on, tell us, man. How are you gonna do that to us?
You'll
It's
have
a
to see.
tease. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We're getting into Miramar here, and we're going over to the commentators once again for all the action. Game number 3.
Richard out. He was bringing us all down. We had to really kick up the ante here. So going into game 3, a whole new map, a whole new world, and a whole new co-caster. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be casting with you again, and I'm really looking forward to this. The guy said on the desk, there's going to be so many shakeups in terms of drops. There's going to be so many teams dropping elsewhere than they usually do, so they're not going to be used to the rotations, and we're going to be seeing a lot of teams contesting each other. But again, I feel like in a cup, you don't want to contest. We have 12 games to qualify here. I don't like seeing contests. I want to see that in the leagues where we have a massive amount of games where you want to prove a point, but here they don't want to back it out. But let's look at this. Navi's going to go like Cabrera, and AVANGAR, they're going to continue all the way east. M19 towards Alcantara, and it's not going to be having a lot of contests as we were kind of hoping for in La Cabrera.
No, there was obviously the desk kind of brought it up to attention where you normally are, but you've escaped somehow. Normally chain you to the desk, but he's found his way free. And I like what you said, that teams aren't just kind of contesting for the sake of contesting at this point. You have time for that. It's not now. Are we seeing a big difference in that yet with these teams? We saw obviously the PEL teams and then Contenders teams. We've seen 2 games of AVANGAR. Have we seen anyone being stubborn in this, or have we seen most teams, as you said, kind of shuffling around? Is there anyone standing out to you that's still fighting for that ground?
Well, definitely Reciprocity and Vitality. They're still fighting for it, and I feel like they're for this cup. They're here to prove that they want to go in the league. And if they back out now, then they feel like the other team will they'll stay out here. First circle though in Far East. Not good for the majority of the teams because the playing was kind of starting on the western side and these teams here. Red Diamonds, they wanted to go Montenegro also. Desperado, they usually go into the Minas Generales, but Vitality is there. They didn't. They saw that Montenegro was open, but Red Diamonds maybe also thought that, so they're forced to go somewhere else. Digital Analytics, they could have taken Chumacer, but they're going to be looting some of the trash loot, as we call it, south of Pecado. Reciprocity, though, in Pecado here, and this is what kind of could get them the lead in terms of keep fighting for school apartments when we go back to Wrangell tomorrow, but we'll see how they're going to do here.
Yeah, I say they're a fan favorite. I love watching these guys. You know what I mean? They're a team that it's hard to not enjoy watching, but they haven't had the biggest of impacts yet. They're quite low down on the table, but I think the desk again highlighted it well. It's still early enough, but you don't have too much room. You have to eventually kick up the points. So hopefully this will spur them in the right direction. Raise your edge. I love their aggression coming out of Yasnaya on the eastern side. Up for a fight, and I think that suits their playstyle. They did bomb out kind of early in the last matchup, but I'd rather see them being the aggressor and actually taking the moments that are provided to them.
I definitely like Ratio Edge here, especially them fighting for Yasnaya. Usually Yasnaya is a place that you can share easily. But here for them, they're going to be looking at looting for themselves. Desperado, though, they're going to have Montenegro for themselves. Red Diamonds decided not to contest it. Again, as we talked about a few times, and as the desk talked about as well, is it worth it contesting in a cup where we have a BO12 to make it into the top 8, to make it to the finals where the real money is? Because obviously, if you go out in the group stages, there's no money. You're just here to play on LAN. You're just here to kind of prove yourself. And obviously, it's in the grand finals. You really want to prove yourself, both on an individual scale, but also as a team.
It should be in the back of their minds, surely. I'm curious how much difference it makes with loot routes. If anyone really suffers, I'm sure we'll hear from the players eventually in the interviews, if anyone's kind of feeling on the harder edge of things, if they're struggling with new loot routes and kind of rotation routes, if it's hindering them. Obviously, coaches are out there to try and smooth that transition if they had to have changed. But let's take stock of that brand new circle. You did point out it is already in place over towards the eastern side. Besiktas in a really nice place. Yeah. Vitality have a really nice place as well. They can kind of springboard off it very quickly. Is there anyone we need to keep our eyes on to start with who should be kind of benefiting from this circle?
Definitely Besiktas, as you said here, they're going to be in a good spot. What's going to be really interesting is the teams that's going to be rotating in. What routes they're going to take, kind of what decisions they make coming in towards the circle. There's obviously many ways of coming into this circle, but AVANGAR, they're going to be coming in from the north. We're going to see probably Navi coming in from Crystal Val, maybe through kind of El Asaha and that direction. But as we have so much pressure kind of coming in, there's 3 main roads or 3 main places you can come in from. There's south, there's straight west, and then kind of the northern side, because you want to take the big roads as you transition in. And this is where I'm asking myself, are we going to see any teams kind of stopping there in edge, making it hard for some of the other guys, picking up some of these easy points on rotations? or they're just going to be like trying to go for the center. Vitality already on the move. They're already trying to get some of these really good spots, and Simpsy's already there. We're going to see some fights soon enough. CrowCrowd, though, here, they're also going to be moving out. Look at this. Simpsy's already out there defending his turf. It looks like Vitality's going to be pulling
They're rolling up on this. Ultrad's on the way, but he might have to... Oh, Simsy, no! That's devastating. Maybe not expecting Vitality to commit or just call out in the open more than anything.
Also, he's gonna be going away from this. That's very unfortunate for Simsy, and Jazz just sees that opportunity. Reciprocity, though, one of the teams is going to be really benefiting from having that center location spot in Picado. They're going to be rotating nice and easily into the zone. Going to be taking a nice and center spot there as well. Unity here, though, they're having a Hacienda. We saw TSM how strong Hacienda can be, and we'll see how these guys are going to be able to kind of facilitate that.
Well, Unity, I was skeptical. After the first game, they kind of rested on their laurels a little too long. It looked like game 2, they came out swinging.
Oh, yeah.
They took the big sweep on that western side. They pushed all the way through the CIS teams and kind of worked their way in. So to me, I'm curious where they balance it. This is far earlier on rotation than we saw before, bearing in mind they were on Sosnovka Island on Erangel and then eventually slowly came in towards the center of the circle. So this is a little bit different stylistically. It may be just purely because of they are in Hacienda and the circle is this close to them.
Yeah.
But still, again, we're seeing a lot of that kind of compounds and different buildings on the southern side of this, I guess, circle for now being contested early on. There's still plenty of room, though. It does just look quite busy to start with.
Definitely. As you said, Unity, they have 10 points, and those 10 points come from the kills in the last game. So they're definitely a fragging team, and definitely to look out for. I mean, 3 of the guys, they've been playing the whole phase 1 together, right? So it's only Orange Snow that's going to be kind of going into the team, and I'm curious to see who's going to be in the leading role for that. But we have some rotations coming in. Battlelands, Recruit, and Orange, they have stopped here as well, trying to scout. Obviously, Miramar is definitely the map to really utilize stopping and scouting before we move in even more than on Erangel. Se7en here, also on rotations. M19 is also beginning coming in. Tornado Energy is coming to take some shots at them while they rotate in, and D-Mash is going to stop at this little gas station here. Or is he? The question is. Oh, he is. Okay.
Where's the rest of his team so far? He's relatively far ahead.
Very far, yeah, very far west.
He's still scanning this out. He's got a Car 98. Why not pull up and get some pressure back on? So, I'm not sure what scope that was on. It looked relatively sizable, so hopefully he's got a bit of range to apply some pressure to allow that avenue of approach for the rest of M19 if they want to use that avenue to work through. But again, they're not in the center yet, or in the circle yet, so they've got a long way to go. If they want that, Hello Senpai's in a lot of trouble. Those sets off towards the side so they can create some crossfire, but they do not have the compound here. They're working in towards this. Memo's there, Rita's there. We've got a whole lot of the players now already stacked up in that compound. We do see Tornado working forward, but by this point, M19 are ready. D-Mash already got out earlier. This would be a lovely bit of revenge. They pull up, he gets one, but he can't get the second. Instantly traded on and should be punished. They've lost out on their scout already, and I don't know what the rest of M19 can do here. They have pulled up, but they're spread out. It's just Elite player on their own.
Yeah, and Kamka's probably going to be picked up here. Melman moving with that cow. Oh, I love to see that. Utilizing that. CrowCrowd here, and we need a home. Definitely fighting. Soring's going to be taking some more shots. Libsyn is down to nothing. Shots are coming in from Ultra in the third party. More shots are coming in. Kemba, last player alive here from CrowCrowd. Nate's coming in. And he's going to be able to finish something off and pick up some of those points. Oh, nice Nate. Finish off Memo and takes down Polideric. And he's going to be finished by Tommel. It's going to be stolen kill. And we need a home is down to 2, and CrowCrowd is down to just 1 player. Meanwhile, we see still the M19 fight outside the zone with Tornado Energy, and M19 is unfortunately one of the teams that have lost out to the Visa battles. They are playing with 2 substitutes, and I believe 2 of the players is from the management team of M19, so it's definitely not at the level you usually see from some of these guys from M19.
I can imagine it'll be a little disjointed comms-wise, playstyle-wise, but hopefully for them they can do their best. That's all you can hope for here. Kemba is still standing. That third party and everything else that went on has kind of given him a second or two, but the issue then becomes Besiktas clearly have eyes and they clearly have range. You've got a Car 98, you've got everything they need up there as well. Ultra already proved what he can deliver, so again, there's threats aplenty, even in areas you wouldn't particularly expect it at this point. Shrink comes in. Lots of space in the north here of that new circle.
Very amazing amount of space here, actually. Ratio actually going to be able to rotate in. They can stop in some of these high ground areas and rotate in and scout some of these areas that are completely open. AVANGAR, they're going to be basically perfect. They can get very deep into this new circle here. And Reciprocity taking some shot at Unity. Looks like Se7en is going to go down, unfortunately. lots of, and this is what Frost really likes to see as well.
What does Frost like to see?
Frost likes to see that...
White suits.
No, not that. But he likes to see multiple things. One of these things is that first phase, not a lot of teams fight in the first phase. But here, they're actually pulling up. They're taking some of this ground. When some of these teams are splitting, they're taking multiple compounds with just 1 or 2 guys. And we see a full team pull up and take like one of these kind of better areas, kind of better compounds. You take them away and just risk them out. So really happy to see that. Also, Vitality did the same. They pulled up on Simsi. Ultra's on the way there, but managed to just take that compound away. And that's what we really wanted to see kind of from phase 1. And not a lot of teams did that, even though we had 60 games to kind of do those things and really kind of counterproof that. But here, all the teams are doing it. They're making sure that the teams that are greedily splitting, they're getting punished. You can't hold down 4 compounds in phase 1. You want to make sure to take one of these compounds or some of these compounds away from these solo players.
It does take confidence, though, because you know the damage that can happen, and it's so hard to just, I guess, understand instantly that is a solo player. It takes time, it takes that scouting, and it's so quick. You have to be so good at decision-making at this point. So it's credit to the teams that do crash into that do take them, that kind of have that initiative to punish these others being greedy for that land grab. And keeping eyes on Na'Vi, of course, they're still very much towards the top of the board, looking very good for themselves. They probably want to keep that up. Desperado, speaking of top of the board, they were looking very good. And Frank already going to find Calvin Klein. The interview may not be repeated this time if that nade did find his target. Not to be the case as the car rolls forward. Support's on the way, and it looks like the Desperados are in trouble.
Shots are coming in here from the supporters. Frankari is forced to move back, but the rest of 7, they can move on a high ground here and maybe get some kills onto Fake and Calvin, kind of finish them off at least, but it looks like Calvin's going to be able to be picked up. But a lot of support are coming in from Cold. Nades are coming in, Smokes is out, but this is a nice fake smoke. It's going to go down to Buster though. Calvin's going to return it.
Yeah, this is so messy though at the moment. If you look at the ground that you're looking at, Edelweiss hold, Crab to hold. The Desperados are there, but they're not close enough. They can apply pressure, sure, but they can't get a knock, I don't think. I'd be very surprised if they could pull that out of the bag. Buster's got another couple of problems coming in as well. That's another issue. They can maybe work on that eventually, but they need to kind of fend off the attackers so far from the Desperados that are kind of on the hillside ledge. I like the bit of work coming on the low ground there. That could be quite nice to watch. That could potentially be a thorn in the side, but I don't know how much they're going to get done. Edelweiss is still kind of paying attention to where the fire's coming from, but actually may not be where we're expecting it. That's the third party confirming the knock earlier. And we're seeing now more fights breaking out across this map.
And Na'Vi taking some shots towards Pittsburgh Knights. Sarah's going to take down Eggery. Edelweiss is going to finish off Fake, so he's not going to be able to relay any more information to the team. But Eggery outside the zone as well. Phase 2 is closing, and now the damage is really going to start hurting. And it's going to go further north. Besiktas looking really good. AVANGAR managed to sneak in on the northern side and take one of these strong spots. Edelweiss is going to take down Colomenta though.
That's so sick from Edelweiss. That position, I thought that little bit of a southern-ish, I guess a kind of low ground flank coming in might have allowed him a little bit of room. Not going to happen. Really good work from them. Going to be able to back away. 3 players alive. Comfortable. They managed to kind of hold up against the odds. And I think we're going to get a little bit of replay on that slow, lower ground play. That was just instantly deleted.
It's very nice. Kemba on a fight with Lipson. Oh, he's going to take him down as well. Very nice shots. And they're still fighting here. Phase 3. They've gotten into the zone though. Still fighting for this compound. Not in a good spot. It's not inside the zone anymore, but they're still fighting. Again, fighting for the points. 1 point per kill here on the new super settings we've been having for all of the phase. Rita is going to be able to pick Lipson up. Kemba is in a new position. Oh,
nice nade. Didn't take it quite long enough, but it's bought them time. If you're just going to try and use a nade to ward away a bit of space, that's good enough. But Kemba's been such a thorn in the side here. They haven't been able to move on. Uh-oh, here comes Reciprocity. And we do have players on the other side. A beautiful death. Pushing further forward. They've got to know they're here. Haxeti's unleashed nades already. You're going to see a beautiful death. Finds one. Shiv caught out in the open. This is going very badly for Reciprocity already. Losing out on 2. Is there a trade back in? I'm looking for someone to answer back towards the Digital Athletics team. And no one really is. Haxeti is there, but no one's showing just yet. Finally gets a peek, can't land the shot he wants. Damage comes in. They're not getting any breaks, they're not getting any damage back in. Scoom's just gone down. They're being slaughtered.
Very unfortunate here for Reciprocity. Nice move from Digital Athletics, again with not with their star player, being able to kind of just sweep in and take Reciprocity down. Also, they were playing it kind of 1-1 solo, taking the 1-1 fights all the time instead of pulling up as a 2 and trying to take a 2 versus 1 so you can refrag, you can get those counter knocks. But Baki, very confident already. Substitute player here. Hexet is just going to hold this corner for some time and try to survive. Very unfortunate. Not the start that Reciprocity needed here in Miramar. If they want to take the fight back to Vitality on a angle tomorrow, then they needed some good games here on Miramar. But unfortunately not worked out. Elite player is going to take down Senya though. Now we lose out 1. Oh, they actually packed off. He's going to be able to pick up Rafi? Are you kidding me?
I'm very surprised that that's the case. Is there a third party? Do they see something? I don't know what's given them the go-ahead to back away. We are hearing shots because I'm pretty sure the Knights might have just pulled up. I'm not sure. It's not currently in the shot we're seeing, but I do see it in the minimap. And we did see the backing away of Sixmo and co. They did find the remaining member.
Oh, that's why they backed off. So they heard a player pull up.
Yeah, they heard the call. That makes sense now. But yeah, leaving Reciprocity to try to get a potential revive is kind of questionable. Jazza could be in trouble because we are indeed seeing the Knights coming in. New circle as well. Raise your edge central. Besiktas still good. AVANGAR out towards the east. That western fight is going to kick off.
It's going to definitely kick off. Vitality, we have so many teams out there. Energy, Pittsburgh Knights pulled up in a great spot. They have some time to move here. Baton is going to take down Fast Rail. He's the lonely player here for Unity. It's not going to work out well for Raise your edge though. Vitality here with the fight. Tornado Energy. And they're very stacked. It looks like Vitality have a really, really good split here. They could potentially kind of cover them.
Absolutely. If you look at it this way, Tornado have to work their way forward. They're not in the safety. That northern push for them isn't all that viable. The ground is not good. Vitality should be able to see this either way. It's dependent on how they can carve a way forward here. We are still seeing Babaki. You said how aggressive and confident that player looked, already living up to that. Another fight's already kicked off. That's going to be in the background as well. Unity did get found. They did manage to find one of the Raise Your Edge members, but Chris has instantly answered back. We are seeing Tornado trying to make that run. That may not go well, but checking in with Na'Vi. We need a home. Did manage to make it out of one compound, but only have found a disaster in the other. Na'Vi sweep them away, removing the 2 remaining players.
Taking more points to themselves. Looking good for the new Na'Vi roster here. Ducey, definitely a player to look out for. Tornado Energy is trying to make a move now. And again, a 4 versus 4 here with Vitality.
They've got a good bit of ground. They use their smokes well to create that avenue of approach. They're pretty isolated from each other, but these nades are splitting up Vitality, allowing X-Team potentially to get in a good position. Gamka is keeping them again on their toes, but Vitality can always peek over. It's just the timing on the peak that could catch them, but for now, Tornado have managed to make it forward. The information's been found by Shadow, that's for sure, but by this point they have a touch of cover, not a great deal, but maybe they can get a fight going. Tornado have an angle, that's X-Team. This is the player I was looking at. If he finally found that moment to strike, he could have maybe elevated some of the pressure, but it looks like he's been kind of waited a little too long now, and the answer's gonna be coming back in.
More shots coming in here, and Raise your edge onto those guys. They have a great spot. They can take some more shots at them, put some pressure onto Tornado Energy. Meanwhile, Navi's pushing onto Digital Legacy here, trying to get in. Red Diamond's also dying. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. Compot's going to be taken down, though.
Here comes the push. Yeah, this is going to be so brutal. Vitality did lose out on Jazza. He's knocked right now, but the trades back in are pretty deadly as well. Already Tornado losing out on 1, I'm pretty sure confirmed. Compot is not. Melman going to try and get the pickup here, but this is risky. It's always risky, but you're banking on Kamka to try and keep you alive. Digital Athletics, in the meantime, have been racking up kills, but they are, again, in a very scary predicament. Nade. Ooh, very nice bounce on the nade from Kamka. Catches Jazzer again. He cannot catch a break, as Lux is still unleashing with that Car 98. The nade confirms what was started, but Vitality still stand. They do not expect... Tornado looks so confused. They did not expect these plays to be so close by, and now caught off guard. You do see a good reply from Compot, but surely this is going to be going in the way of Vitality. Or is it? Are they backing away from this? They lost out on Shadow in the meantime. It looks like they're falling away, but while all of this has happened, Digital Athletics were taking fights everywhere, and they've just been picked apart by every other team. Yeah,
Compot, last player standing here. He's going to try to pick up one of his team members, and Krama's also going to pull back, maybe try to get Shadow up. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Richard's in the distance here, just taking more ground, very greedily splitting here, taking a lot of ground here in phase 4. We're going to see the phase 5 circle soon. AVANGAR on the eastern side, they're looking very good for themselves. Besiktas is also looking really strong, and it's gonna go very far east here. Looking very good for AVANGAR.
Yeah, they've got a really nice spot to work out from. The remainder of Reciprocity, Rafi, after the revive from Haxeti earlier, managed to stay alive, find a little compound, sit in, camp away, don't move, just hold that doorway. We do see Besiktas, of course, very close by. Two of the players there not far off. Tommel's holding quite close by. Vitality, I feel, hesitated too long to be very much to the point. They could have dealt with that fight cleaner. And now Tornado do indeed have the upper hand. A couple of fights do start to kick off as all the positions do get noted. The Knights on the run there. That's from Besiktas, from Tommel specifically with that mini, forcing them back onto their ledge.
Trying to keep them away here. Knights were looking pretty good, but Besiktas definitely spotted them out. Compound is going to be taken out by Krama. Still, this fight's going for 5 minutes. It's a fight outside the zone, looking very rough for these guys. Se7en, though, is going to sneak up. They might be able to come in behind Besiktas and do some damage to these guys. Meanwhile, Kamka is going to take down Krama. Finish him off as well. Nice shots by Kamka, the green-haired fellow. Now, if he's going to be found, though, Francario is going to find Pokémon. They're going to go out 9th. They did manage to get them some kills, though, so that's going to be fine for them. Still not inside the circle. These two teams, they're suffering and just fighting each other, just hurting each other, not being able to get further. And probably not going to be able to win the game from now on here, but Se7en southern side.
Yeah, checking in on this one. We do have to kind of, again, remind ourselves the Raise Your Edge are in a good position because they have the compound, some decent ground there. They could get caught up by the remainders of that awkward fight that continued to happen out towards the west. And the Knights are also flanking up on that side. So it's not just Vitality and Tornado anymore. The whole squad, I'm pretty sure, of the Knights is working in that direction. And you are hearing those shots. That is Raise Your Edge joining in. And that is Vitality. Ooh. That's Chris finding that. Chris from afar delivers it towards Melman. That's what you want to be seeing. There's that pressure. That's Raise Your Edge. I like that. I want this team to do well because I love that aggression. Chris is a really stylistic player, and it's so exciting to watch when he starts getting a hot hand. So this could be a good one for him, but Vitality still have a player close enough by. The Knights are going to run that gauntlet, and this side is the scary one. They have the castle walls built. AVANGAR have the entirety of the west. They have a great position, really nice ridgeline to work off, and they have a great deal of ground in front of them. Now Chris is in trouble. The Knights have turned up, and they're not going to play nicely.
Great in here, and they're moving in with cars as well, trying to take more ground. Shadow's going to find one, though. One is going to be taken down. He's going to find another. No, Snark is going to drive over Shadow, and they're going to be taken down to 7th place. Maybe going to be able to pick up Warner as well. Meanwhile,
what a way to die.
Yeah. Go down, especially as the last player, so there's no knock, no nothing. You just go completely out here. Se7en making a move on Besiktas, though. New zone kind of centers up on the northern side. It's not a hard shift, but AVANGAR still looking strong. Rashid still has that saloon area to himself.
This is quite scary. I know Rafi could play a factor, but I'm pretty sure that's just positioning. So it is down between these two. Edelweiss, I loved this play earlier from him. He looked deadly in that little bit of a battle he's all caught up with. Wonder if he's going to keep that form going in towards this one. Good positioning coming out from Se7en Esports, but Besiktas do hold high ground and they can't find a way to break it. Lux holds the line and Besiktas do not allow them a way forward. Tommel looked like he could be the breaking point if Frank could have created that opportunity, and he's actually doing very well. Tommel's down to almost a one-shot. Where's Ultra in this? Ultra needs to almost over-peak. He needs the help. The nade's done the work, but he can't back away quick enough. Besiktas goes down, and the angles coming out from the Se7en side, it was so good. They worked that out, but here comes the push again. The Knights working their way forward towards Raise Your Edge, who hold the compound. We saw the sniping work was good. How's their close quarters combat looking here? Drayden, this is trying to build a little bit of cover maybe to play with here, but he's drawn the attention of AVANGAR, and that's a very scary side to try and draw the attention from.
Meanwhile, Rafi, he's taking a little sneak peek and looking at Se7en. Oh, there's a guy's knocked there, but I'm not going to take the shot. So I want to try to survive for longer. I want to try to see if we can make a bigger play than that. Hexet did the same earlier on in a wrangle game, just laying low, and that's the right thing to do. You want to make sure you can third-party a fight. There was an opening, but he didn't seize it before. He's going to be able to sneak in behind them, though. Maybe wipe out all of them. Let's look at that. Raise Your Edge, though, and Knights, this is going to be some interesting fights here. It's just big teams coming on. The
thing that scares me for the Knights, even though they've got a great fighting potential, Raise Your Edge don't need to join in the fight in theory because they have the hard cover to play from. They don't need it now. Rafi just waited too long. Dies in the end. Reciprocity goes down. They did get at least good positioning in points, I guess, placement points.
Yeah, a little bit.
But still, not ideal. Let's look at the situation we have. AVANGAR hold great deals of ground. We have the team coming from the southern side. They're still kind of broken and beaten from the last fight they took. The Knights don't have that hard cover to play from, whereas Raise Your Edge don't need to expose themselves. But look at that northern split from Maxi. That's such sick play. It's dangerous, but what it provides is huge.
And the angles they need there. And Oxford's going to find Snark, though, and definitely the team here that's in trouble is Knights. They are on the edge. They have not much ground to work with, and they basically need a hard shift in the next phase to make anything work here. Or they have to crash Raise Your Edge, which would probably turn out wrong because they got a kind of a player on a off-angle Nemerith. Oh, with a nade onto Snark and finishing off that. Reals is going to be taken down to nothing as well.
There's that aggression I was super excited for. It's such a risky play considering that Maxi is in the distance, but they made it further enough to be able to deliver the nade over the ridgeline, and that's super nice. But again, look at AVANGAR's split. They have 2 towards the northern side of the road, 2 towards the south, and they split the last circle in half. It's all theirs. They still hold great ground. They do need to reconsolidate to a degree, pull themselves back in, as they don't want to get picked apart. You don't want to start losing out on players one by one at this stage.
I want to make sure to get some more of these points. 7, though, kind of have to make themselves in, and AVANGAR putting on so much pressure onto those guys as well. Looks like Edelweiss, they have to move on. Look at this space they have. They have nothing to work with. As soon as they move into the circle, AVANGAR's going to be staring straight in their face, as well as Erasure Edge. They're going to have an opening to them as well. So Edelweiss and those guys, they really have to make a move soon. Close to the zone, though. Might be able to sneak in. Pittsburgh Knights as well. Not inside the zone. 3 guys alive. Also have to make a move. AVANGAR staring in their face. Erasure Edge looking for some points as well.
Yeah.
So 3-way battle if anyone.
This is going to get tough for those teams, as you said. I think the Knights have got a task at hand, to say the least. They're going to have to find a way in. They've got good enough loot. I see that level 3 helmet there. I see, you know, they've got range to play from, but they need something to spur them forward. And right now, they have nothing to play with. Minox is going to find Wanted. That's a good pickup for them. Is there any more to be seen here? AVANGAR don't want to split themselves too thin. They cannot overextend. That's their one problem. If they take individual fights and start to take damage, that's where it can go wrong. But for now, that could be the case. Edelweiss does find Snoopy. If they could springboard off that, that'd be great. But the problem is for 7, they have so many fights on so many fronts. Even if they get one knock, it doesn't mean they're safe. That is nice work. That is exceptional work. Edelweiss gets completely decimated. AVANGAR still hold this firing line, and it's so deadly. The points are going towards their favor more than anything. Razor Edge are desperately wanting some of this bit. Now, is there any more to be seen? Yeah, it's a bit of a death valley here. Every side. Se7en Esports is eliminated. AVANGAR claiming all of those points. The Knights still have a player up, but for how long?
Reals here managed to survive into the top 3. Trying to just survive for this. He might be able to sneak in later, but I really doubt it. This is the next fight we're going to see here is Razor Edge versus AVANGAR. And AVANGAR has the upper hand. They have so much base. Unless the next circle shrinks and is on top of this Saloon, it's looking very good for AVANGAR. Okay,
so AVANGAR have all the cards, right? This is theirs, to say the least. It's pretty even. It still has room for Razor Edge to a degree to play into this. The issue is Reals could play spoiler for Razor Edge if they start pushing out, trying to make a play fit. The other option is you hope that Chris can land a couple of big shots and maybe eliminate one of these individual splits. But look at this. This is smart, and this is just kind of preemptive play, and I like it. Maxi already may be finding a way forward to try and recreate that nicer, kind of stronger foothold into this map, maybe being less isolated or feeling confident enough to stay where they are. Again, with 3 teams remaining and 8 players, you know you're in trouble.
And AVANGAR already making the moves, and look at how central StarLadder already is. X-Chris, though!
That's what I'm saying. If he can deliver opportunities, they can springboard off the back. I wish we could see his perspective here, but for now, it's going to be AVANGAR trying to get the heal. Smokes go down. If any time now, Razor Edge need to make their move, we do see more fire coming in. Reals just got picked up. This is Chris. That's the big shot that you want to be seeing 8 times on that beautiful gun. Razor Edge, how do they play this out? It's down to 2 teams here. The revive should be coming in anytime now. That's going to be happening. That's not a problem. But how do the 3 remainers from Razor Edge get out of this compound with AVANGAR holding such a big angle off this now?
Thinking this is not even the sniper patch we're playing on yet. X-Chris is going to be making so much more damage with those bolt action. I love to see they picked it up already, even though we're on patch 26. Menox and X-Chris trying to make a decision here. And honestly, for me, if they don't get a pick or an opening, I don't know if it's even worth it trying to make a move on it, because it's 3 points they could deny, and then again it's boring games.
Don't be that guy.
I know,
don't be that guy. Don't encourage it.
I know, but they can hear us, so it's good. Definitely some opportunities, but they have a high ground on them. AVANGAR, that knock that they got, that was definitely the move they should have done on it, and AVANGAR, ooh, Nemerith.
I love this. This is excitement to me. I love these angles. They're playing with such minute angles to work from. And I've got to feel that Razor Edge are actually kind of being, not necessarily the aggressors, but they're fighting this hard. They're trying to win with the cards. I want to see utility. Oh, Chris again! This has to be the time for them to springboard forward. They have to start working on these picks. They're working them down, and here we go. Nimrith now starts working their way forward. Minox holds an angle. Chris, they're allowing Chris to get some work done. You've got to deny peeks from 2 of the other players to allow Chris a chance to get this. Look at this pixel. Oh, it's so sick! Can we just watch this guy? Please, just please. I'm begging you. I don't care about them stimming up. It does not excite me. What excites me is the Razor Edge are trying to work on this one. Chris is tagged up, though. That's going to slow this down. Slows down the roll. Nemrath, though, working forward. This is brave. This is risky. This could be borderline insanity. Chris now trying to make a bit of a gauntlet run as well. Smokes are up, but for how long? Nades coming through. Nemrath is right on the verge of this. Menox needs to keep them busy. Keep their attention turned. The nade in Chris's hand. Do they know the push is here? Now they do. Chris gets spotted. Oh, but they overextend. Nemrath gets down 1. That's Maxi gone. Aspernet replies in kind, and AVANGAR shut it down before it starts.
Fantastic play here by AVANGAR, and I really love to see that Racers did a effort here, and a valiant effort. Got a knock, tried to move on it, Nemrath got into the circle, and they got another knock, but AVANGAR here closing it out. And their rotations from the beginning, we just saw it. They came in nicely, kept pushing, they took more and more space because the north was so, like, there's not occupied at all, and finish out with 8 kills. I really like to see that from AVANGAR.
For me, that was a perfect example of a truly valiant attempt. You could not ask them to